Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Before It Was Cool podcast. And today, Tom on Treads and Shaky J, we are going to Middle Earth. Um, Probably one of the biggest movie franchises ever to come out for success and positive affirmation. The Lord of the Rings series. We're not doing The Hobbit. Um, we're avoiding that one for very obvious reasons. So yeah, the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
What's your view on the Lord of the Rings, Tom?
Well, it is the most successful trilogy to ever come out. It made $2.77 billion in its opening weekend if you combine all three films. It's the only
Yeah,
film trilogy to ever do that. Star Wars never did. I'm sorry to say it never did. Star Wars is the highest earning film on a gradient, on a scale with the modern financial times, but Lord of the Rings beat it at the time, if you know what I mean.
yeah, and overall, you're looking at the time period as well. Like Star Wars wasn't able to get to as many people as what Lord of the Rings has when it got released.
Yeah,
Um, Star Wars as well, like it came out and it was brand new, whereas Lord of the Rings, like it had a book, it's done other series, it's had stage plays, it's done all of that sort of stuff.
and I had
So
a
it had enough
movie
fan
from
base and
the
stuff.
70s, I think it
Yeah,
was.
there was an old animated one.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, it was coming in with a lot of support, whereas Star Wars was just, whoa, this is brand new and explosive from that.
yeah,
Like there
yeah,
weren't already established fans for Star Wars when Star Wars got released.
yeah. I don't know what's happening now. There are established fans, but the movies just go down and down and down and down. Although I saw the
Well,
teaser for the Obi-Wan series, and oh my god, it looks good.
well, yeah, that's the big thing. I think they're focusing more on the series sort of thing, and I think that's a better option because the Star Wars series have all been like I'll actively say that they've all been good of the modern ones. So like I love the Clone Wars, I loved Rebels, I loved the Mandalorian. Trying to think what else. The Bad Batch has been fantastic.
Yeah, and the new one came out today or is coming out this week. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, yeah. For a
Was
second
that
there, I
the
thought you were going to
Cassian
say all
Andor
the
one?
movies have been good. And I was like, oh, I
No,
beg to differ.
no, no,
Solo was pretty shit.
no. I didn't. Well, okay, we're on a tangent already. I didn't mind Solo. Just like there were some really good moments in it. Um, but yeah, it failed so hard just due to backlash due to the Last Jedi. But yeah. Anyway, let's get back on the Lord of the Rings. We're talking the wrong wizards.
It's Star
Um,
Wars Vision, by the way. Visions.
oh, it's anime. I'm not into anime, so
Yeah, I was going to say
yeah,
it's a new anime series. But yeah, back to
yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Mm.
J. Tolkien, or Tolkien, is a genius.
Yeah, like he
Like literally,
wrote.
he is a genius. He had to he
Well, was he's
invented
not
like
exactly alive
four
anymore.
languages, like
Oh yeah,
from scratch.
yeah, and so much of it was like because he originally wrote The Hobbit, and writing The Hobbit, it was based on his experiences in war and some of that, and then just creating it into a story for his child at nighttime, and then
Yeah,
he just created this whole world that just kept going and going and going. But
was the Hobbit or the Silmarillion first?
Hobbit was the first one he wrote.
Okay, then the Silmarillion. I know Silmarillion was before Lord of the Rings, but I
Yeah,
didn't know
based
if it
before
was
it, but yeah,
before Hobbit.
yeah, it wasn't like chronologically, I believe it's before The Hobbit, but it wasn't written before The Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, should we do a theme song?
Oh yeah, I forgot about
I noticed, and I'm
that.
like, okay, we're going into this topic a bit hard. We haven't even done the theme music. I'm pretty sure that's the only reason people listen to us. So yeah, I
Oh
thought it'd be a
shit.
good idea to put it on.
It might be a big disappointment. I'll eventually change it. I'll make it better.
Eh, we'll see.
Alrighty.
See what the fans say. Well, fan. There's probably only like one of them.
Yeah, one or two of them. I know Damo listens. There's your shout out, Damo.
Yay, Damo. Anyway, Theme music.
Welcome.
Welcome. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome.
Welcome to the Before It Was Cool podcast.
And we're back, and yes, we are talking Star Wars. Sorry about that. I almost
We're not talking Star
forgot
Wars,
to...
we're talking Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. I'm sorry. My brain went to Star Wars because I was looking it up before. But Lord of the Rings. I almost forgot the intro music. Jay had to remind me and get me back on
So
topic.
you almost forgot the intro music, then you almost forgot the topic. Fuck, have you remembered to press record? That's my worry.
Oh fuck. Yeah. Of course I've hit record. I'm not that stupid. Or
I'm
am
not
I?
saying stupid, just forgettable.
I've done that
Well,
before.
forgetful,
not
forgetful.
On my previous podcast, I did a full interview with someone from... I can't remember what band it was. Shit. It was some international band. I was really excited for the interview. Did the whole interview. Said goodbye. Realized I only recorded my vocals. I'm like, fuck.
That would have been annoying.
Yeah. And then I
But
was
yeah,
like...
Lord of the Rings. So I've been coming up with a couple of questions for you, Tom. Like I said before we actually started chatting. But yeah, so I've been coming up with a couple of questions, and I think they're probably some of the most important ones. So first of all, favorite character in the Lord of the Rings series, the trilogy.
Oh, shit. Probably... And I know this is controversial, but Saruman.
Nah, I can see it. Great actor, great evil character who, like, you didn't want him to win, but you don't hate him. Like, you do hate him, but you don't hate him for like bad acting or what he did to the character. He played it well. He acted well. No, I can't diss you for that. It's like one of the main reasons I'll ever watch Star Wars Episode 1. Yes, we're going back to Star Wars again. Is for Darth Maul because he's just so freaking awesome.
Or Episode 2 and Episode 3, same actor.
Not
Right,
Darth Maul. That's Darth Tyrannus.
Christopher Lee, I mean. Same
As
actor.
Darth Tyrannus, yeah, aka Count Dooku, yeah. And a good bad guy makes a movie a lot of the time, and he's one of, like, him and Gollum are the only, like, big bad guys, like major bad guys in the series that you see, because you don't really see Sauron. Like, he's more just
his eyeball.
and you see him walk around in the opening thing, but he's not like an ominous threat that's right there. He's ominous, but he's not like right in your face, whereas the other two are. So no, I completely get it. And as someone whose favorite character of all time is a bad guy, I completely get loving a bad guy.
Who's your favorite? Oh, Hannibal.
Hannibal Lecter, yeah, greatest bad guy of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Played by the greatest actor of all time. But yeah, that's my own personal opinion. So my favorite character is complete opposite to yours. It's Gandalf.
Oh. Yeah,
so
actually.
Ian McKellen's amazing. Like, can never diss his ability. He's an amazing actor, even as he's gone on. Like, the fact that he's also played Magneto and did that amazing as well. So Ian McKellen, Gandalf is great. He goes from being like a warm, nurturing sort of character to be someone who's quite intimidating and powerful. Like, he's just a very big range of character. He's great. I love Gandalf.
Yeah. He has probably the best arc in the movie. I know Frodo, or in the story, but we're talking about the movies. Frodo has a pretty good arc, whereas Sam, and I'm gonna cop some shit from this, is just Frodo's follower, and that's kind of his arc through the whole movie.
I'm not gonna say just his follower, because by the end he's carrying Frodo. Like, you go 1 and 2. 1 and 2 he's the follower. By 3 he's taken the burden and he's getting him there.
Yeah, true.
I will not hear a bad word about Samwise Gamgee. He's the true fucking hero of that movie. But no, another character with a great arc in it is Aragorn.
Yeah, true.
Like
He goes
his
from this
character going from the
obscure writer to this a literal king.
not just that, he's also doubting himself and his abilities and what he if he could be a king, to the end taking it up and doing the right thing. And yeah, he's got an amazing story arc.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, as I said, I'll always put Gandalf as my number one character. He's ah, Gandalf is amazing.
I
But
do have
okay,
a soft place for Faramir. Is it Faramir?
Faramir.
Yeah.
Faramir or Boromir? Faramir is the one that survives the movie series. Spoiler
Oh,
alert.
Boromir.
Um,
Boromir. Then.
Boromir is the one that dies. Sean Bean.
Sean Bean. Yeah, I have a soft place for him.
I think everyone does because it's Sean Bean.
Yeah. Plus, he he was being seduced by the ring, and then he gave everything up to save the hobbits.
Yeah, he had a good redemption arc.
Yeah.
Um,
In the one
do you know
movie too.
you know how everyone laughs about Sean Bean dying and everything?
Yeah.
Did you hear about the bar fight that he was in?
No.
He got glassed and his neck got cut. He beat the shit out of the person, finished his drink, and then went to the ER.
I know. In the last year and a half, he said no to like 13 different projects because they killed him. He's
Yeah,
like,
he's
I'm sick of being known as the guy that dies.
funny thing enough, he isn't the person who's died the most in movies.
Yeah. Who
There's,
is?
I think Samuel L. Jackson's above him.
Yeah.
Like
Do
I think
you
Sam
know,
Jackson's died more, but I can't think of the others.
just to add to the tangent, do you know who the actor who has sworn the most times in film is?
It's not actually Samuel L. Jackson, is it?
It's not.
It's Jonah Hill.
Yeah, it is. He's
Yeah,
sworn more times than any other actor in history. And he's been acting for, I think it's
yeah.
25 years less than Samuel L. Jackson.
It's looking at what the characters they've played. Like Jonah Hill's played like younger sort of characters who would be swearing off their head.
Well, like,
And it's the
90%
roles.
of
Like
his dialogue in Wolf of Wall Street was the F word.
yeah, and yeah, that sort of thing will tick that sort of counter up quite well. But yeah, so okay. So my next question is least favorite character, or even character you think was miscast or they didn't do well.
Um, Not because I think he was miscast and not because I didn't think he did well, but I'm going to say Frodo because Elijah Wood creased me out.
I can understand that to a little degree. Ever since I saw him playing a cannibal in Sin City, yeah, he does creep me out a little bit.
It wasn't even that. It was, what was it, The Good Son with Macaulay Culkin?
Haven't seen it.
Yeah, he just freaks me out in that show, that movie.
For
And
me,
from
oh,
there,
sorry, you go.
it's just, yeah, I've never gotten really solidly behind anything he's ever done.
Not even Green Street Hooligans?
Like, I can watch some of the stuff he's done and get like into it. Like, I got into Lord of the Rings. I got into Green Street Hooligans, like you were saying, Sin City, and a few others. But I can never get solidly behind his character.
Nah, I get ya. So my least favorite in the movie series is Legolas, Orlando Bloom. Like he was pretty enough for the role, and that's about it. Like he was always acting with the same tone of voice, no real inflection, and it's like, oh, let's do something visually marvelous. I know, let's have Legolas shoot down everyone on an elephant. And like, yes, he's supposed to be an amazing elf and everything, but it was like, wow, that is just ridiculous to the ridiculous emphasis on the word dick. Yeah, like Demigod, great visuals, great. I enjoy the back and forth with Gimli, but Gimli is the better one of the two.
Yeah.
There's no depth to Legolas as a character. He's just so dull, and Orlando Bloom just played him so monotone for so much of it, which is kind of elven. They are supposed to be a bit aloof, a bit distant. But even Galadriel and Elrond had more to them than Legolas ever did. He was just have a bit of back and forth with Gimli, show some bond with Aragorn, shoot a lot of things with arrows, do something cool. all in the same tone of voice. Like it's just like, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's me.
I get what you're saying. Like, I usually feel the same way about Liv Tyler, and I actually thought that she did a better job than Orlando Bloom in that series.
Oh yeah, like she actually showed some decent emotion and variance in her character, like hope, despair, sadness, relief, even intimidation. Like when she summoned the waterfall horses, sort of thing.
Yeah,
That was absolutely awesome.
yeah.
Like it was just a great scene, great visual scene, and the chanting and stuff. How it started echoing. Oh, I'm getting goosebumpy just talking about it. Um,
Oh,
okay, so that's character-based sort of thing. Okay, now what's a character, and this can be a minor character that you would have liked to have seen more of?
huh. Um, I don't know, really. Like, sorry. Uh,
Like, let me actually just change the thing a little bit. If they were to do like a spin-off, say, mini series, like maybe like 6 episodes or something of another character, who would it be?
hmm. I think maybe, is it Treebeard?
Treebeard, the Ent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Didn't
Because
think of
if you
Treebeard, to be honest.
include him, you've also got, Took and, the other one.
Uh, um,
The other two hobbits
Pippin
that
and
no one
Merry
cares
and
about.
Pippin. Oh,
Merry
I
and
care
Pippin.
about them immensely. They're great characters.
Yeah, but what I more
But
mean is, like, when the hobbits are brought up, it's always Bilbo, Frodo, or Sam.
yeah,
Took,
I do get that.
uh, his last
Merry
name
and
is
Pippin.
Took. Merry and
There's
Pippin,
Pippin or Peregrine Took, and Merry Adoc Brandybuck.
yeah. Those two are always the ones that get brought up later in the
But
conversation. But if you do a series, especially around how Treebeard took over and defeated Saruman,
Isengard. Yeah.
yeah, defeated and took over Isengard, then they would be included in the story too.
Yeah. Um, yeah, oh, absolutely, because they were heavily involved, and I think in the extended editions you do see a bit more of that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. So if I was to choose a character for a background story, I'd love to see Boromir and the Defense of Gondor, like just before Lord of the Rings, before he joins the Fellowship and all that.
Yeah.
Like the Defense of Gondor, Boromir and Faramir fighting there and all that. That could create some really cool action sequences, some espionage, a couple of cool creature effects if you have some Nazgul come out, and orcs obviously, and all that. But yeah, could be very entertaining. Either that or Aragorn being a ranger in the wilds could be very, very entertaining.
Like, yeah, like a prequel type thing.
Yeah, just showing like, well, more an origin story almost. They could
Sorry.
have a lot of fun with that, and you could see where the characters developed and stuff. Admittedly, I don't think they ever will, mainly because the characters have aged significantly. Because like I think Lord of the Rings was coming out when I was still in like year 6 or something. So it's
Yeah, the first one was 2001, I think it was.
yeah, so that's close to 20 years.
Well, that is 20 years ago.
Yeah.
2021 now. It just made you go, fuck them old.
Oh yeah, pretty much. Um,
Ah,
and yeah, so like that's who I'd like to see a spin-off sort of thing for. But you want to do Treebeard with the two other hobbits. I was worried
pretty,
when you first said Treebeard and you were just going to do that. And it's like, do you know how long Ents rest for? Like it'll be mostly watching a tree sleep, and I can't think of anything more boring than that. But no,
no,
you're
but
talking about the Battle of
more
Isengard.
focused around the actual meeting of Gandalf the White for the first time instead of just like flashing it on the screen like they did and then having the Fellowship finally catch up with him and having Treebeard interact with him and then having the actual battle for Isengard fully shown.
Yeah.
That would be good.
That being said, just a quick thing. When the Fellowship, so the big three, notice Gandalf for the first time, like that it's Gandalf, and they're realizing it, the look on Ian McKellen's face is so derpy. It's great. I love it. Like seriously, if you don't put that as the picture for this episode, I'll be very disappointed because it's perfect. It's derpy like us, but it's appropriate to the topic.
Yes, I will find it. Ian McKellen Derp Face.
Yeah, it's great. Like it's hilarious. But what you were just saying, just talking about the Battle of Isengard, has led me to my next question, and that's what's your favorite battle?
Oh shit. Uh I don't know. Probably Helm's Deep.
Yeah, that is the correct answer. Well done, you pass. Yeah, Helm's Deep is just amazing.
It is, and it's not too long so you get sick of the bloodshed, and it's not too short. It makes you go, what the fuck was that? Why don't you
Yeah,
show me a
we
good
want more.
battle?
We want to see everything. It's got the right mix of action, good bits of comedy, like the "you need to toss me," like love that moment,
I
like that
can't
whole thing.
drop it.
I can't, I can't make it. You'll have to toss me, but don't tell the elf. Like, love it. Great line. It's got the typical Orlando Bloom, Legolas, oh pew 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 pew, sliding on the shield down the stairs and flinging it into another orc's throat.
Yeah.
Like, it's got that ridiculous moment where it makes you go, "Oh, that's pretty cool," but fuck Orlando Bloom. That being said, I am a bit softer towards him since he punched Justin Bieber in the face.
He punched Justin Bieber.
Yeah, years ago he punched Bieber, so I was like, yeah, I like him a bit more now.
Oh, good. I think he's my new favorite.
Wouldn't go as far as to say he's a favorite, but I like him more than I did before. But yeah, you've got a bit of tragedy when the commander of the elves dies.
Yeah.
You've got the tragedy of Helm's Deep getting blown up by the orc suicide bomber.
Yeah.
Which is a terrible thing to bring up when we're recording this the day after
Yeah.
September 11.
The 20th anniversary.
That's some,
But
yeah, that's some
the
unfortunate
whole
timing by us, isn't it?
and the suspense of it. Legolas, shoot the orc.
Yeah, it's like, get him, and it's like, oh, go on. The yeah, it's just, yeah, I'll say it every day of the week. It's the best battle in the movie. It's honestly one of the best like major scale fantasy style battles that's ever been done, in my opinion.
People people often compare Game of Thrones to Lord of the Rings. For one, they're fucking stupid because Game of Thrones was very, very shit at moments. It was good at moments, but extremely shit in others, which makes it
Uh,
not a good TV show.
it was like, I'll say it's a good TV show. It really didn't end well. But the thing is, Lord of the Rings as a movie, it has some pretty shit moments. Like, you'll watch the end of the third one where it's got like 8, and it's like, oh, this is where the credits
Yeah,
are going to
it
come.
goes
No,
for
we're still
way too
going.
long.
When you're sitting in the movies and you've already drunk a large drink because you know that it's a long movie, so you got a large drink, and you've been throwing down popcorn, which makes you drink even more, and you've already had an ice cream as well. You need that piss at the end, and they kind of kept dicking you around. Um,
Yeah.
like, I
Oh,
understand a
God.
lot of it, but they had it to, like, each set was done as a finale, whereas they could have done a bit more continuation for it. But that's just me there. But yeah,
Yeah.
going back
But
to
yeah,
Helm's Deep, yeah,
don't get
Helm's
me
Deep
wrong.
was.
I've watched all 8 seasons of Game of Thrones,
Hmm.
and the Battle
And
of the Bastards was epic. Season
oh yeah,
2, season 4, and season 5, and season 7, and season 8 weren't that good, especially season 8.
um, and that's the thing. Like, Game of Thrones was written as a political drama, just based in fantasy.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
like, the whole thing was that it was more a political play sort of thing, and that's what changed as the series went on. Lord of
Yeah.
the Rings stayed consistent because mostly it was already all written, and yeah, it stayed consistent because it was the same writer the entire time for fixing it, the same script writer, all that jazz. And then on top of that, it wasn't a political drama. It was an epic fantasy tale, an adventure.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyone who does the comparison, they're looking at so much the superficial rather than the deeper sort of information.
But
Um,
it was
yeah.
very obviously inspired by Lord of the Rings with the
Oh
medieval
yeah.
fantasy stuff. Same with Warcraft, same with Warhammer, same with a lot of other things.
No, anything fantasy can link heavily back to Tolkien because he helped build genre up.
Well, he pretty
Like,
much
there was already
invented the fucking elven language.
well, elves were already a thing before, but they weren't done in that sort of style where they were like
That's
the
what I mean. Just
immortal
the
sort of thing. Yeah,
language, he pretty much invented it.
but just one
Like
thing
he
that
had
makes
his PhD in linguistics, I think it was, or like actual. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was linguistics. He
yeah.
literally just walked in, and they read over some of the stuff he had done, and they went, "Well, do you want to come into this class?" And then 2 years later, he got his PhD.
Yeah. But yeah, talking about that comparison, it just makes me think of bringing up like because people bring up that comparison a lot, and it's like I just watched the epic rap battle between Tolkien and George R. R. Martin. And yeah, it pretty much takes all the things there that deal with it all. Like I mean, like it's a like first of all, I love epic rap battles, so of course I'm gonna be into it. But like the fact that Tolkien even brings up the fact that Zeppelin wrote a song about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
You know about that, don't you?
Which song is it?
Misty Mountain Hop.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh no, not Misty Mountain Hop.
Sure, it's not Misty Mountain Hop.
It might be. I'm doubting myself at the moment.
Because I know Immigrant Song is about the Norse gods.
Vikings. Yeah. Yeah, Misty Mountain Hop. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and the Battle of Evermore too.
Oh,
Is
shit.
yeah, yeah. They're both by Lord of the Rings and about Lord of the Rings, about Led Zeppelin and about Lord of the Rings.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Well, yeah. Check out the epic rap battle of like you've watched epic rap battles before.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure
haven't
I've even seen
Epic
that.
rap battles of history.
I'm pretty sure I've even
Yeah,
seen
it's
that episode.
fantastic. Okay. So yeah, moving on, talking about Lord of the Rings. Okay, so I'm just going through my questions. I've still got a couple. The next one is okay, your favorite moment. Actually, no, change your favorite moment to most emotional moment for you.
Most emotional moment.
Because there's quite a few in the movie.
Yeah.
Well, while you're still deciding, I'll tell you mine.
Probably when Gandalf fell.
There you go. When Gandalf fell.
Yeah.
Fly, you fools! And then he went and fought the Balrog and leveled up and got all heaps of good loot. And
no, it was run, you fools.
It's fly, you fools.
Sure.
Yep, 100%. Because there's a theory online that when he says "fly, you fools" to them, it's him actually telling them to get the eagles and fly to Mordor rather than walk.
That would make sense considering he had his memory wiped.
No, it wasn't completely wiped because he's still Gandalf. That was my name, so he remembered things. He also was still able to talk to the moth again to get the eagles at the end. So his mind wasn't wiped; it was just kind of fogged.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah, I'm not meaning to shut you down or anything, but yeah, I'm shutting you down. But then so my most emotional moment is Return of the King. They're doing the distraction battle to help Frodo get in, and Frodo and Sam get in and drop the ring in.
Yeah.
When Aragorn just turns to everyone and just in his Viggo Mortensen's beautiful voice, like if that man could read to me to get me to sleep, it would be amazing. And he just says for Frodo and charges forward. The first two characters that charge out, Merry and Pippin, they're fucking tiny. They can't keep up. They're not great warriors, but they're like, nope, this is for our friend. We're running in. We're screaming. We're going full force. We're going to get left behind by everyone. Sorry, even talking about it right now, I get teary every time I see it. I am getting teary right now. I'm fucking pathetic. But yeah, just that beautiful friendship moment where it's like, you know what? This is for the good of everyone, and this is for our beautiful friend. Fuck it, we're doing this properly. And every time I see that, I'm just like, okay, pause it. Jay, you crying? No, I got something in my eye. I'm just gonna leave for a little bit. And Yeah, just go have like a sad wank to make myself feel better. Um, but yeah, it is
Oh,
seriously just that for me is the most emotional moment ever. It gets me every time.
I can't argue with that one. Yeah, that
Though
is a good moment.
I will also say as a second is I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you. It's like
Yeah,
thank you for finally saying it. You've been doing that all fucking part of this movie. I'm glad it's finally happened.
it's yeah, I wasn't, but I'm glad that finally got said in the Return of the King. But
Mm,
yeah, I wasn't too happy with Sam's whole tagging along to be the tagging along guy in the
yeah,
first two films.
yeah. It would have been like he was also his like there was some good joke elements in there as well. Like it's like, what are you, his bodyguard? His gardener, and he says it so proudly.
Yeah.
It's like I do love that bit, but yeah,
Or
yeah,
don't get me wrong, Sam had moments. It was just they could have done more with him, especially with an
yeah.
actor like
Sean Austin's
Sean
great.
Astin.
He's great.
Austin?
He is
Is it
Sean
Austin or
Astin.
Aston?
I think it is Aston. I think you're right there. Sorry.
Yeah. You got me second guessing myself now.
You got jailness. Um, but yeah, yeah like, and I think most people do see that now that Sam is the big hero, and as a character wasn't treated that well, but that also does show his growth as a character. Like
Yeah.
he began as just being the tag along who's like following Gandalf's orders. By the end, he's a pretty competent fighter, like not an Aragorn or a Gimli or a Legolas or anything like that. But he takes down quite a few orcs. He helps take down Shelob. Um, saves Frodo. I don't know how many times. Um, isn't trusting of Gollum, so he's actually the smart one of the two.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he,
Although
yeah,
they did a pretty good like I rewatched the entire trilogy recently. I don't know why I did that. We'll
because it's
get
lockdown and there's not much else to do.
yeah, but I'll get into why I regret it in a minute. But they do a good job of showing the fact that the ring is corrupting Frodo, and
Mm,
that's why he doesn't see how evil Gollum is, because
yeah,
Gollum knows what the ring can do to people, so he takes advantage of that by taking advantage of Frodo.
yeah. Well, there is a combination of the two, like because Gollum has got that split personality sort of thing of going between Smeagol and Gollum. Um, which in my
Yeah,
opinion is one of the best arguments you'll ever see in a movie. Um, but yeah, so like he does see the like Frodo also sees the good side and wants to believe in it, but
yeah,
through honestly some miscommunication that all falls to pieces and Smeagol's like, "No, fuck him. I'm gonna get my ring back."
yeah, exactly. And Andy Serkis does a great job as
Yeah,
Smeagol and Gollum,
yeah,
respectively.
that's because it's Andy Serkis. He's very underrated, not just for his motion capture work, like just in general.
Yeah, he is the king of mocap, but like when he's not in mocap, like in Black Panther
Yeah.
or what is it,
Have you
Age of
seen
Ultron.
Have you seen the movie with him in it? That's it's him and Simon Pegg and they're grave robbers.
No,
It's not bad. It's
kind
not
of want
bad.
to. I love
I'll
Simon
quickly look up
Pegg.
what the name of it is. Um, let me just quickly find it. Um, well, let me just find it. What's his name? Andy Serkis. Yeah, Andy Serkis is great. I love him.
Have you seen his version of Jungle Book?
Is that the one on Netflix?
Yes, live action.
Yeah,
Right?
it
Yeah,
was good. It was solid.
it was. It was just as good, if not better, than John Favreau's version.
Yeah,
Which
it was
was
just
saying
called.
something
So the
because
movie's called Burke and Hare.
Burke and the hair. So
Yeah, yeah. So Burke and Hare. It's a comedy thriller. Um, it's based on the Burke and Hare murders. So they're pretty much they work as grave robbers to get bodies like for cadavers for medical research, and there's not enough bodies, so they start just knocking people off for it. But it's usually by accident.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty good. It's good fun, and it's Simon Pegg. Like Simon Pegg's amazing.
Yeah. Even when he's
Um,
not working with Edgar Wright or Nick Frost.
yeah, he's just solid in whatever he does. I just love Simon Pegg. But
Yeah.
yeah, so what was my next thing that I was gonna say? It was so what was my next question? Um, what would be your probably okay, let's go funniest moment in the movies.
Funniest moment in the movies. Probably, like we brought it up before, but it would have to be Gimli at the Battle of Helm's Deep. You gotta toss me.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I guarantee that as well. I love that
Don't tell
moment
the
as well.
elf.
To be honest, just Gimli in general.
Yeah.
Like there's the whole that still only counts as one. That little tantrum he has.
When Legolas
What's
kills
happening?
the
I can't
elephant.
see. What's happening? I can't see. Do you want me to explain it to you or get you a box? Like that's the one thing I will give Legolas in that movie is that the back and forth was great.
Yeah.
I just wish they had a different actor to do it, but yeah, I'm not going to rant anymore. I'm going to try and keep it so this edition of the podcast isn't a special edition or an expanded edition.
You can go as long as we need it to.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
or I can split it into 3 and do an epic trilogy. But
Yeah.
I've already done that once with one of your interviews.
My intro one, my first one, where
Your
you were just
very
having me
first
on as
interview episode got split
where,
into 3.
where you were just having me on as just like a temporary guest, and then it's like, you know what?
The
You
first
talk
one
some good
did
shit.
well,
Let's get
so
him on
let's
more
give
often.
you more. But
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, here's a question for you.
Yeah, go.
If you could recast any, say, 3 actors in Lord of the Rings, because I won't leave it to one because I know what your answer would be, who would it be and who would you replace them with?
Oof. Does it also include characters that were in the book but not in the movie?
Nah, just the movie.
Just the movie? Okay. Shit. Okay. So first of all, the character of Legolas.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah. Um, you'd have to go someone pretty to show like a male that's quite pretty in aesthetic. You could go with like, is it any time period or does it have to be from that era or
We'll
it'd have to be
say
from that
that
era?
era because they're obviously made in the 2000s.
Yeah. Could go with Billy Zane.
Yeah, he would have just been coming off Titanic.
Yeah, but well, no, I don't think he did come off the Titanic, did he?
No, yeah.
No, he made it off. Yeah, because he demanded space, didn't he?
He tried to find Rose at the end, and then she hid from him.
Yeah, he's also the bad guy in Moulin Rouge, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Wouldn't.
Phantom.
He's not the bad guy in the Phantom. He's the good guy in the Phantom. He's also in the movie Tombstone with Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is. He's also in Back to the Future.
Didn't know he was in Back to the Future, but there we go.
Yeah, he's one of Biff's goons.
Okay. I could imagine seeing him as a good Legolas because he has got the aesthetic right. The other two, like to be honest, to me the cast is near perfect, so I can't really recast anyone. But fuck, might have to try and pick some minor characters. But even then, the minor characters are usually really damn solid. Maybe a different voice for Treebeard. Maybe someone like Ving Rhames or what's his name? What's his name? The guy who plays John Coffey in The Green Mile.
Or Michael Clark Duncan.
Michael Clark Duncan, mainly because the voice of Treebeard is Gimli.
Yeah,
So
I'll get into
that...
why that is later. So I have a few gripes with that movie, but I also have reasonings for gripes with that trilogy.
Yeah.
As in why that stuff had to be that way. What
So yeah, like
about instead of Mark Clark Duncan? What about Morgan Freeman for Treebeard?
um Morgan Freeman doesn't have the depth in his voice to really do the almost growl sound. He's he's got a more soothing voice, whereas Michael Clark Duncan can do intimidating, can do powerful.
Yeah, true.
And then for a third recast, shit the bed. You make it difficult for me. I like it. I like the challenge. Um, this is really fucking hard. I'm just going through characters in my head, like based on like this, like a sequential sort of thing in the movies. Shit, because there's a lot of background characters who don't talk or do anything really.
Yeah,
So you can't really replace them because it's not a role that really matters. And then any minor characters aren't really minor characters in the grand scheme of things.
yeah. They've all got a place for a reason.
Yeah, and they all did it well. Like I can't think of anyone other than those two that I would replace. Like I could probably happily replace the head of the elves that come to fight at Helm's Deep, mainly because he's probably one of the only forgettable characters really in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Um,
He had a big emotional arc for that segment of the movie, and that was it.
yeah, and like it, like the only reason I'm choosing that role, and not that the actor didn't play it that well, is because all the others are just too perfect in my opinion. Like I can't think of anyone else I would replace. Like just going through minor characters, like the characters of Boromir and Faramir were great, and they even looked similar,
Yeah,
but different enough that you could tell that they're not the same person. The character of Aemma, who's played by Carl Urban. Carl Urban is amazing.
yeah.
Theoden was great. Um,
Is he the king of?
Eowyn was great. Arwen was great. Like, it is Rohan.
Yeah, Rohan. I always
Theoden.
get
Yeah.
Gondor and Rohan mixed up.
What's his name? Denethor, the steward of Gondor. So Boromir and Faramir's father. He is. I love to hate him. He is such
Yeah,
a great character that you just fucking hate him.
and he played the actor who plays that insane grief so well.
Mm, and excessive and kind of power hungry as well. Like the whole kit and caboodle. He just. Ah. So yeah, for me, it's just. Yeah, I'm
And
gonna
the
be thinking about that question all night now, and you're
uh,
lucky that you have trouble sleeping, because otherwise I was gonna message you the moment I came up with anything and wake you up, but that's not gonna happen. So,
and the
okay,
fact that he outright says, "I'm not going to call for Rohan because I know Aragorn's there, and I'm not giving up my power."
yeah, exactly.
Like he
He,
doesn't hide the fact that he's a shit cunt.
the only and like the fact that he does have a slight redemption angle as
Yeah,
well at the end when he realizes he's what he's doing. And one positive thing is he is quite accepting of others in a huge degree. Like when he's talking to Pippin, who's when after Pippin said that he's gonna gonna work for him effectively, and he says, can you sing? And he's like, I can, but I'm probably not as good as any of the singers around here. I have no songs of great halls or anything. He's like, your songs are not going to be like, I am not too good for your songs. Please share them. That was a really positive moment, because it was like, yeah, you know what? He's giving respect there and saying that like he is just a normal person.
yeah,
He's just a bit mad with power with a lot of it. Sorry, that's just a big moment that I really love in that movie.
yeah.
Because as we both said, those two hobbits are definitely underappreciated for all they do.
Yeah. Like the two of my favorite characters from the entire series, they're just always the afterthoughts.
Or the slight bit of comic relief, or the but they're really quite heavily involved, like getting the Palantir.
But I mean, like
Yeah.
outside the story, I mean with fans
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
people talking about them. It's always Frodo and Sam and Bilbo as far as the hobbits are concerned.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah,
completely get you 100% on that one. Yeah, and they're such great characters. Like Pippin's an idiot. Merry is a smart ass,
yeah,
but also very cluey. But they're just a beautiful little friendship. And as I said, my favorite moment involves the two of them being just beautiful friends. And I'm not going to get teary this time. I'm not going to get teary this time. I'm not going to get teary this time talking about it.
Oh, yeah. Although, some of my favourite moments from that series come not from the actual storyline, from the true stories behind the scenes, if you
Oh,
know
like
what
the
I
fact
mean.
that all of them, like so many of them, got a tattoo together.
Yeah, and also the fireworks scene from Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, where Merry and Pippin are throwing the firework between each other.
Mm.
The actors weren't told that it was actually going to explode. So when they're throwing it between each other and it really does shoot up, the actors, their reactions when they fall are actually their reactions. Because Peter Jackson forgot to tell them. Sorry, he
Let's
told
get another
someone
one.
to tell them who told someone to tell them who forgot to tell them.
But yeah, and then even the aftermath of that part, like let's get another one.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
second breakfast,
Yeah.
dinner, supper. What about elevensies? It's like, hobbits, all they do is eat. So yeah, what would be your 3 recasts?
Fuck. Probably Elijah Wood.
Just because of your own personal gripe?
Just because my own personal gripe. And I'd replace him with, shit. Not Macaulay Culkin. What's his brother's name?
Oh, the other Culkin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in
remember his name.
Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, he's in Scott Pilgrim. He's in Home Alone. He's in
He's
Father of the Bride 1 and 2.
okay. So yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
he is
fair
in
enough.
Home Alone
He's a
1
solid
and 2.
actor, and I've only ever seen him be sarcastic. Like that's pretty much his, and a bit snippy. Like I don't know if he could do the warmth and curiosity and like almost childish innocence of Frodo, and then do that change into like with weathered veteran sort of thing. So
I
I get
don't
where you're
know
coming
if he
from, and I think he could
could,
act it,
but
but
at the
I
same
don't think I've
time,
seen enough of him to judge that. Yeah.
anything's better than Elijah Wood for me.
Okay, what's your number 2 recast?
Number 2, shit, like you said, it is hard because that movie was cast so well.
You set up a
Or
good question. I'll give you props there.
yeah, what are the ghosts called?
Well,
Mountain Man,
the Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead. Yeah, I'd
There's not much
replace
there.
lead the king of them with literally anyone because he was full of special effects.
Oh, the
That's
voice.
That's how I'll get away with that. The voice, but shit, I
Like the
don't know.
voice is there, and that's like not a special effect thing. So
I don't probably fuck it. I'm just gonna do it because he's great and everything, and I wish he was still alive. Is Robin Williams?
okay.
I'm just gonna throw him in there because it wasn't an overpowering role, and it would be a nice little Easter egg to go. Do you
Nice
know
little
that was
cameo.
Robin Williams?
I think I'd prefer Robin Williams as one of the Hobbit, like not one of the main Hobbits, but like a background Hobbit.
Yeah, maybe
Like
the guy that sweeps
like
his pathway and gives him all the stink eye.
Yeah, like just something really minor, but like I mean, come on, it's Robin Williams. He's kind of short, he's fuzzy, like he's perfect as a Hobbit. Rest in peace. He's one of the greatest.
Still
I
makes
was
me
gonna say,
sad.
yeah, me too. I haven't watched a movie of his since. I haven't been able to.
Yeah.
But
I
then,
watched 1 hour photo recently and I was like, my god, this man is great. He can make
oh
me
yeah,
piss myself laughing in any one of his comedy movies, make me almost cry in any one of his dramas, make me seriously scared of him in 1 hour photo.
have you seen him on? He's on an episode of Law and Order SVU.
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, he is so good in it. Like I'd advise you to go see it. But just changing things up, I had a thought for the voice of the head of the ghosts.
Yeah.
Oh, what's his name? Just give me a moment. What's his name? What's his name? It is Jeffrey Rush is that voice.
The Australian.
Yeah, but also, amazing actor as well.
Like, yeah, I wasn't saying that as a bad
The
thing.
Australian, it's like,
It's like
yeah,
the
like,
Australian accent. I was trying to think of
well,
who it
well, I'm not
was. But
expecting I'm not expecting the ghost to come up and go, "Oh, g'day, Aragorn." Like, I'm not expecting that. That's not a sword. This is a sword. Like, I'm not expecting like freaking Australian tropes.
yeah, but yeah,
Let's
I
throw
agree
another
with that.
Oliphant on the Barbie. Like, fuck.
But for me, he is so fucking good that I would put him in one of the major roles.
Hmm.
Like
So's
we,
Robin Williams, and you just said that he's so good you could just throw him in there.
yeah, but like as an Easter egg, whereas Jeffrey Rush fits that aesthetic so well,
Ever since
and
Pirates, really.
yeah, pretty much. But this is pre-Pirates, even. Was it?
Yeah, it would
Yeah,
be.
it
Yeah, because I
was.
was in high school. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would contemplate putting him as one of the kings.
He could do Denethor well if Denethor already wasn't done well, or even Theoden. Like, he could do any of those kings really.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your third recast? And you can't use that.
Oh fuck, because I was going to. Um,
Well, who would you think for Legolas?
who would I think for Legolas from that era? Uh he was still in his pretty boy era, so I'm gonna go Leo.
Yeah, but then again, Leo can nearly do anything in your opinion, and most people's opinions. He's amazing.
Yeah, he is. I can't wait for his new movie. Don't Look Up.
Don't know it. I haven't looked into it really.
It's coming out on Netflix. It's directed by Adam McKay, who did the Silver Linings Notebook, Vice, and
Okay.
a bunch of those movies. He also did Step Brothers. He did Talladega
Ugh.
Nights. All that stuff. I know you hate Will Ferrell, but
I don't hate Will Ferrell. I just think he's really overrated. Like I've watched him in there's movies he's in that I actively enjoy. Um, and even when he's a main character, like I do enjoy quite a few moments in Talladega Nights. I enjoyed Blades of Glory. Just never got into Step Brothers or Anchorman.
yeah,
And everyone raves about those two movies. It's eh, like it's all right. It's like whenever anyone raves about Billy Madison to me, it's like it's not as great. Like I remember watching it as a kid and loving it, but now as an adult, I walk back and like, yeah, it's not as good as I remember.
it's no ridiculous six.
Oh, fuck off. That movie's horrendous, but like,
Oh
yeah.
god. I think Adam Sandler needs to do more dramatic roles like Uncut Gems.
Or Reign Over Me.
Or pretty much any of his dramatic roles. He's been really good. But
Yeah,
he's said
even
that
when he
he
does
hates him.
even when he does the more like drama comedy sort of thing, where it's like the Wedding Singer, where he is a bit more of a serious character rather than a goofball, and he
Yeah.
does that really well.
Or Big
Punch
Daddy.
Drunk Love, I haven't actually seen it, but yeah, Big Daddy's another one. Punch Drunk Love has really positive reviews for his actual acting in it.
Yeah.
It's not like complete goofball sort of stuff. And even
Yeah.
when he's playing a more serious, like serious character, non-goofball, like in Bulletproof.
Yeah. Yeah. Or
Like
in Airheads.
Airheads. Well, no, he's a complete goofball character, but it is a bit more
Yeah, it's more
based
of
in
a
reality.
kind of. It's
Yeah.
a heavy metal band holding up a radio station with water pistols.
They're filled with chili sauce to shoot in people's eyes, so it's
Yeah, Steve Buscemi is fucking golden in that movie.
the entire cast is great in that movie.
Yeah.
The
But-
only character I don't really rate in it is Kramer's character.
Yeah, that guy's a dick anyway.
Mm.
But yeah, back to the point that Leo or like circa 2000 Johnny Depp.
Mm. Yeah, you could probably do it. I mean, it's Depp. He can act anything. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'd agree.
Like-
Yeah, I agree. I rate that.
Even though he's like more one dimensional nowadays, and like he's
Well, the main issue with that is he
Pretty
keeps
crappy.
going into the same actors, the same directors' movies instead of other things.
yeah. But it would have been
So-
cool. Like it would have given us like a an Elvish version of Captain Jack before Pirates of the Caribbean.
That being said, a lot of people like I'm not a Harry Potter fan, so I haven't watched them. But a lot of people rate Depp's performance as Grindelwald, the bad guy in the prequel, the Fantastic Beasts movies. So
Yeah, he
that's
appears at the end of the first one, and then he's in the second one, and he's been recast for the third one because the whole
and the
proving
herd
that he
fuckery.
beat up his girlfriend thing.
Except it was just a toxic relationship, and they were both bad.
Yeah, they were both beating up each other apparently. But I gotta be careful with the wording there. Beating up, not beating off. But
Yeah.
it could be good as seen with Legolas, although I
Mm.
don't think it could pull off blonde hair.
It'd be interesting. Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see.
And just so you know, he replaced Colin Farrell, and then he gets replaced by Mads Mikkelsen. Is it Mads Mikkelsen?
Mads Mikkelsen,
Yeah.
Hannibal in the Hannibal series.
Yeah, he's from Star Wars Rogue One.
Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen's amazing. He's also in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, he's in Doctor Strange.
Yeah, he's great. Not great in Doctor Strange. He's actually pretty underwhelming in that role, but yeah, he's a great actor. But
Yeah.
okay, so my next question: favorite monster?
It's hard to say. There are many good things about this movie, but this series, but they have incredible monsters. Probably the Balrog.
The Balrog. It is so classic. Like, it is such an awesome monster. Like,
It is.
it is like that whole it's almost like that visual depiction of the devil.
It is.
Like it's
yeah.
this giant demon. So completely get you on the Balrog.
And that whip of his just looks like it's gonna fuck everything up.
Yeah. Nah. It's like I gave you this question because it is really hard. Like, and there's a lot of monsters you forget about as well. Like there's that giant squid before they go into the cave.
Yeah, which they never explain what it is, but it's pretty much a kraken.
And yeah, there's so many and then there's like the cave trolls. There's just the basic orcs and urukai.
Yeah.
There's the Nazgul.
The Dark Witch.
The Witch King.
Witch King. That's it.
You got Shelob as well, the giant spider.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go with you as well and say the Balrog. He was just in such an epic scene, such a cool character. Yeah. Though I will say the Witch Kings or any of the Wraiths on Wings, the Nazgul.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I'm not going to include him as a monster.
Sauron as well. Technically, you'd be seeing this monster.
He's more a lighthouse. Oh, actually, there's a thought for you for Frodo. Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, if it was being made today, yeah.
Once he built up his capabilities and stuff, but yeah.
I think he already has, and people just need to wait and see.
And get past the whole he was a
thing.
sparkly vampire. Yeah.
He's
making
Batman
money.
is gonna blow everyone out of the water. I guarantee you. I'm putting my name on the line now. If it doesn't blow people out of the water, I'm gonna change my wife's name to Horn McCorson.
Have you discussed that with her?
No.
Okay, you're in trouble.
She'll agree with it. She'll be like, I trust you. Kind of.
Yeah.
Then in 3 months' time, we're getting divorced.
I had something really mean to say there, and I was like, no, I'm actually going to pull back on that one. That one's just brutal.
Was it about Taya?
No, it's about you.
Okay. You can say whatever you want about me.
Okay, 3 months' time, you'll get a divorce. Come on, Tom. We know you're not going to live that long.
Oh, I've got
Told
to
you
go.
it was mean.
I've got a good 6 months in me. Yeah.
Okay, so you'll be halfway there and living on a prayer.
Yes. I think
Wow, that was underwhelming response.
that's Bon
Yeah.
Jovi, isn't it?
Anyway, yeah. Well, you'll be 3 months in. You say you've got at least another 6 months. You'll be halfway there and living on a prayer.
Oh yeah.
It's what I say in poker as well when I'm the small blind, and I blind in, and then and then I'll go in and I'll be saying, okay, I'm halfway there. Let's go living on a prayer.
Oh
Um,
god. And that's why I don't play poker with you.
What? Because I'm entertaining as fuck.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, definitely. So we've talked about our favorite monster. I don't think I've got any more questions. Are there any good little tidbits or information pieces that you'd like to add to everything?
Like I said, I rewatched the entire trilogy over like last week, pretty much. Not in anticipation for this, I just felt like watching them. And like, and there is a reason for this, but the graphics do not hold up.
Yeah, I've noticed that a bit too when I've rewatched them over the last couple of years. Some of them do, don't get me wrong, but
Oh yeah,
the
some do.
the Legolas Oliphant scene does not hold up very well.
The tree beard scene does not hold up when he's walking, and the green screen, you can just tell it is a fucking green screen. You can tell the tree's fake, and the hobbits are interacting with themselves and nothing.
Yeah, bring back more
and
animatronics.
Like Gollum crawling down the rock face just looks fake. Back in the day, it looked brilliant. Today, it's just dated. And that was because of the fact that I think New Line Cinema, who ended up making it with Peter Jackson, I think it was the fourth studio to hold it, and they said, we're only giving you enough money to make 2 films. So the 2 Towers would have been split into Return of the King and Fellowship. And Peter Jackson went, fuck that. So he made all 3 films in the 6-month period, 2 months per film, but for the same amount of money. So he had less of a budget to work with per movie.
Well, that's interesting because I thought they did it over an extended period of time still, because one of the funny things, like a continuity error, is in the first one you see Gollum's eyes and they're yellow and they actually change to blue in the next movie.
Yeah. Well, like, the principal photography was done in a short period of time because it cost so much to block out that much in New Zealand, pretty much. But the special effects and everything were done over like 3 or 4 years.
Okay. Because but so yeah, I will agree with you. There are quite a few special effects in it that don't hold up. There are some that are great, like the Balrog's still good.
Yeah.
The Nazgul is still solid, but yeah, there are definitely some that you just look at and you're just like, oh.
One that wasn't even good back in the day was when Kate Blanchett goes nuts and tries to steal the ring, is tested by the ring and still says no. That didn't even look good back then.
Great actress, don't get me wrong, I love Kate Blanchett, but yeah, she kind of, the effects there were not as good as what they have been.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do definitely get where you're coming from. But
most of the things with Lord of the Rings comes from the fact that he was so tied down by the budget, and that's because like we said, the animated film back in the 70s, it flopped. They tried to make TV series out of them and they all flopped. Every franchise ever attached to that series, except for the books, they flopped. Yeah. So every studio was like, fuck, we're gonna give you $300 million to make these, and then
they saw what it did. Yeah, Peter Jackson's amazing. Like his King Kong was great too. Bit too long, but it was good.
It was the
Um,
only movie I've ever fallen asleep in the cinema
what King
watching.
Kong?
Yeah,
Or just
mind
because of
you,
the length, or
I'd been up for I think 36 hours at that point.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
Um, Too bad that doesn't work for you anymore. Just staying up for 36 hours so you can just go straight to sleep.
yeah. No, I ended up just staying up for another 36. I
Yeah,
think my
exactly.
record at the moment is 4.5 days.
Fuck, have you started hallucinating from that yet?
I I'm not sure if I did. Well, I've slept since then, but that's my record, 4.5 days
Wow,
awake.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so still talking Lord of the Rings. Any other little like tidbits and stuff, or you were going to talk about your issues with some things? Like,
Yeah, mostly,
is
like
that
I
the
said, the
studio
special.
budget issue? Is that what you're talking here, or
The what? Sorry.
the studio budget and how they treated Peter Jackson early on and that, or
Yeah, like, and the fact that Warner Brothers said it's not gonna do anything, even when New Line picked it up, Warner Brothers was still like, it's not gonna do anything. What the fuck are you doing? Because I think it's New Line and Warner Brothers. New Line is a subsidiary of Warner Brothers, I believe, and
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Like,
what the parent company was like, "What the fuck are you doing? It's not gonna make any money,
hmm.
like at all."
Then again, there's a lot of big businesses and CEOs who don't see money in something. Vince McMahon. And yeah,
Oh,
just
it's
yeah, there's a lot of that.
it got confirmed a few days ago that Vince is gonna sell WWE in the next 2 years, and there are
Hmm.
3 bidders at the table for it. NBC Universal, who are on the USA Network, and Peacock
Hmm.
Network that WWE Network is on in America.
Hmm.
Fox wants it, like the actual brand that isn't owned by Disney. So there's like there's sports
Fox Sports,
channels, and I think like a few of the
the
other
news.
channels and the news outlet. They want to buy it, and the other one that's throwing their name in the ring is Disney. They want to buy it, but
Be a,
is expected to go on the block for around $5 to $6 billion.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see what happens. But anyway, off topic once again. Um, some of
So
my favorite, some of my favorite tidbits in the movie. First of all, so Grima Wormtongue. So
who's?
the so Saruman's offsider who was poisoning King Theoden.
Oh yeah.
Yet, do you know who plays him?
Oh, I know the actor. I don't know his name.
Brad Dourif, aka that is Chucky.
Ah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, just seeing, like, knowing that that's Chucky, it's just like that's really quite funny because I think Brad Dourif's a very much an underrated actor.
He
Um,
is.
he plays a good bad guy, whether it be sniveling coward bad guy or smart ass bad guy or just psychotic bad guy. He's great.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I love that little tidbit just because no one ever expects it. Um, I love the Treebeard Gimli connection. The broken toe. You know about the
Yeah.
broken toe? Yeah.
And the
Um,
flag in
what was the
Rohan.
flag?
What when the flag flies off the pole and heads towards the actress or the actor, can't remember who it was. That wasn't actually supposed to happen, and it got caught by one of Peter Jackson's cameras, and he left it in the final cut because it looked so good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's awesome. Um,
Also,
yeah,
the fact that most of these were done in like one take because they couldn't afford to reshoot, pretty much.
yeah, um, yeah. Just Lord of the Rings is just yeah. Did you ever read the books
Yeah. Uh,
before or after seeing the movies?
after seeing those movies, but I've read Silmarillion and The Hobbit since.
Okay, because yeah, I hadn't read the book before seeing um Fellowship, but then after seeing Fellowship, I read the books
Yeah.
and The Hobbit as well, just to get the extra background stuff. And do you have a favorite of the book series?
Oh, like of those three, or all of Tolkien's books?
All of Tolkien's books, because you can't
Oh,
separate the three. They're like when you read them, they are so much part of each other's story that you can't put one above the other. With the movies, because it's a visual spectacle, it's different. With
yeah.
this, it all gives you more information. At least The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings series are separate enough. You can say if you enjoy one more, or if you enjoy the Silmarillion more.
Like, the Silmarillion is so good, but so dense. Like, it's
Yeah,
really hard to
read.
follow and read and stuff because there's so much being thrown at you. The
Yeah, I
Hobbit
got.
is a great book, but it's very concise and it has the opposite problem. It's too airy. Whereas like the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy, sure it is dense and sure it is very long, but it's dense and long for a reason.
Yeah, because just so much detail and information.
Yeah.
Um, like I couldn't, like I started the Silmarillion and I couldn't keep going because I just got to the part where it was like such and such begat such and such, and it just turned into like reading some parts of the Bible
Yeah,
where they're talking
exactly.
about all the descendants. Like this is really fucking bad to try and read for enjoyment, and I
Yeah.
just didn't have the. And I didn't know anything about the Silmarillion. I still don't. Like, I don't know what the overall story is actually about. So I didn't have anything to push forward to. I just knew it was part of the whole Lord of the Rings mythos.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's more of a
yeah,
history book than a storybook.
yeah, it's pretty much the story of Middle Earth. Like the
Mm.
first I think it's the first wave of Middle Earth and the Hobbit and the second the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings are the second wave of Middle Earth.
Well, the end of the second wave, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's
Um, and yeah,
is there 80
the
years
favorite book
between
out of
the
that. Oh,
Hobbit?
sorry, you go.
Is there 80 years between the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings?
Um, Bilbo's 111 in
Fellowship.
Fellowship. I don't think it's 80 years, but it's still significant. Though
Yeah,
it
it's a
could
long
actually it
time.
could be because if I remember correctly, Bilbo was quite young as a character. Let me just quickly look it up. But yeah, when it came to the books, my favorite was The Hobbit. I
Yeah,
I loved it. It's also probably the most child friendly. Like it's one you could read to your kids.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. Yeah. Uh, on a side note, I loved in Clerks too. Like the way
walk, walk,
what's
walk,
his
walk.
face describes Lord of the Rings and makes the guy puke. It's like this Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
walk, walk, walk. This is Two Towers walk, walk, road trip. What the fuck was that?
Okay.
Walk again.
Um.
And this Return of the King walk, walk, walk. Throw a ring in a big hole. Then shit it in each other's mouths for about 15 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. So Baggins was a comfortable age of 50 when he was gone to Smorg. So it's about 60 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So you were pretty close. But yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Sorry. I just remembered another tidbit that I love, and that's what the ring does, dependent on the race that has it.
Yeah.
Because it plays up to like the stereotypes of the race. So, for example, for anyone that's of like a hobbit or halfling style, it makes them invisible. It makes them harder to see. For because that's what a hobbit has to do. For Sauron, it gave him more power and all that, and made him stronger because that's what they aim for. Same with most men, I believe. I can't remember what it does for everyone else, but yeah, it's one of the interesting little tidbits I saw. And it's like, oh, that makes so much sense. It's effectively like alcohol, where alcohol increases whatever mood you're in. The ring increases whatever main attribute your species has.
Yeah. Oh,
So
I didn't. I forgot about that aspect of the ring.
yeah, it's and you know what the ring was an analogy for in the entire series?
Sex.
No, heroin.
Oh,
Heroin and
yeah.
drugs, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was about addiction.
Yeah, true. Because
Yeah,
around when Tolkien wrote these, which was it the 20s or the 30s?
yeah. I think he was heavy into opium because
Yeah,
of his time in war.
yeah, because he had served in World War One and he lost a few friends But yeah,
PTSD and opium was an escape, and then he wrote about trying to escape the escape, really, and its
Yeah.
effects.
about how it just took over,
Yeah.
ruined everything that it touched.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then my favorite thing from Lord of the Rings is, we discussed it before we came on air, but the Christopher Lee stabbing.
Oh yeah, talking to
Talking to Peter Jackson, he wanted a giant moan, and he was like, "Excuse me, sir, have you ever stabbed someone or know what it's like to be stabbed?"
well, it was
No?
like do you know what the
Well, I
sound of
do.
yeah, and just corrected him on it. But
Yeah.
Christopher
Drives
Lee
the
had
air
also
out.
Christopher Lee was also the only member of the cast that had actually met Tolkien.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that he had met Tolkien.
yeah,
Jesus.
yeah.
That dude
But
was so cool.
yeah, like I think some people have seen the meme, but I'll just quickly look it up, and we'll probably close on that if that's cool. Unless you've got something else you want to quickly say.
No, we'll just do our usual sign off.
Yeah, sounds good. So facts about Christopher Lee. Here's the whole thing. Um, 22 incredible facts because he was pretty amazing.
He
He was entered into the Guinness Book of Records in 2007 for most screen credits,
was.
having appeared in 244 film and TV movies by that point in his career, and then he made 14 more movies, with a 15 due later, in the year that this was being written. He also holds the record for the tallest leading actor. He stood at 6'5",
Oh.
and also for starring in the most films with a sword fight, with 17.
Oh.
His mother was an Italian contessa, and through her Lee descended from Emperor Charlemagne of the Holy Roman Empire and is related to Robert E. Lee, the Confederate general.
Oh.
He met Prince Yusupov and Grand Duke Dmitry Pavlovich, the assassins of the Russian monk Rasputin. He didn't do this as research for his later film as Rasputin, but just as a child in the 1920s. At age 17, he saw the death of the murderer Eugene Weidmann in Paris, the last person in France to be publicly executed by guillotine. Which is funny because he gets beheaded in Star Wars, so like that's just a funny little moment. During World War II, he was part of the Royal Air Force, but not allowed to fly because of an issue with an optic nerve. Became a long-range desert patrol, forerunner of the SAS. He fought Nazis in North Africa, 5 missions a day. He helped retake Sicily, prevented a mutiny amongst his troops, contracted malaria 6 times in a single year, and climbed Mount Vesuvius 3 days before it erupted. At some point during the war, he moved from the LRDP to Winston Churchill's even more elite Special Operations Executive, whose missions are literally still classified, but involve conducting espionage, sabotage, reconnaissance in occupied Europe against the Axis powers. The SOE was more informally called the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. He never talked much about it,
cool.
but he's seen so many people died, he's become hardened to it. He's seen the worst things ever. He's received multiple commendations military from British, Polish, Czech, and Yugoslav. He speaks both French and Italian, and he spent time after World War II hunting Nazis and war criminals. And that was before the age of 25.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck, he makes you feel like a failure, doesn't he? Like,
He does. Oh, god damn.
He almost lost a finger fighting in a sword fight with Errol Flynn in the Dark Avengers. Lee also was so skilled with the sword he was able to cut off Flynn's wig while Flynn was still wearing it.
The sheer fact that he even got to be in a movie with Errol fucking Flynn.
Yeah. He's played Dracula, the Mummy, Frankenstein, Saruman, Count Dooku. He's also played Fu Manchu, Rasputin, Rochefort of the Three Musketeers, so the one of the bad guys in Three Musketeers.
Yeah.
Lord Summerisle in The Wicker Man, the original Wicker Man.
Yeah. Good one.
He's played Mephistopheles, Death itself, and Scaramanga in James Bond. Okay, here we go. Here's the James Bond one I was telling you about earlier. Lee was not only related to James Bond creator and author Ian Fleming, they were step cousins. but Lee was actually one of Fleming's first choices for the role of Bond, not least because of Lee's World War II and SOC experiences. He's also played Sherlock Holmes, his brother Mycroft Holmes, and also Sir Henry Baskerville of the Hound of Baskerville, so he's played multiple things in the Sherlock Holmes universe.
Yeah.
He refused to speak in some of his Dracula roles because the dialogue was so bad.
Just added to it.
He also got the blessing from the King of Sweden to marry, like, royal family in Sweden. He read The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings trilogy once a year for the majority of his life. He was the only member to meet Tolkien, and it was in a pub and fanboyed out, apparently.
I would too. It's straight up
yeah.
like Tolkien, for fuck's sake. Oh, God.
He actually asked to be in the movies. He actually wrote a letter to Peter Jackson to be in the movies.
Yeah.
The stabbing sound, as we said. He knew the names of every official public executioner in England dating all the way back to the mid-15th century.
Jesus Christ.
Big metal fan. He's the oldest metal performer, oldest musician to ever hit the Billboard music charts.
Yeah.
He made a metal Christmas album in 2012.
Yeah. I knew all the death metal ones.
Yeah. He's also a world champion fencer, an opera singer, spoke 6 languages, and could play golf really well. He was knighted. Yeah, so okay, this is a silly thing. Despite everything you've heard about the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, you know what that is, don't you?
Yeah.
Just the amount of connections Kevin Bacon has.
Yeah.
Christopher Lee was recognized as being the most connected actor in the world in 2008. He connects to virtually any actor in 2.59 steps, beating Kevin Bacon. So yeah, Christopher Lee was awesome.
He was.
Mm.
And it's not a good day when he dies. It would be even worse when
he's already gone. He died years ago.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a good day when he died.
Wasn't. Okay. But yeah. And I think we've come to the end of this episode. Wow, we actually did an extended edition for this one.
Yeah, about 2.5 hours.
Yeah, because we started
sorry,
at what?
An hour and a half.
Yeah, an hour and a half. Yeah, I didn't think it was 2.5. Shit. Do
Yeah.
your maths, boy.
So my recording program lists it as 2, which means we're into the second hour.
Yeah. But yeah, that's also our talk before we started and our talk in between while we play the music. So
yeah.
But yeah, so that's us. If you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, let us know. If you enjoyed the podcast, let us know. If you didn't enjoy the podcast, develop some taste, listen again, and enjoy the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
go to
hope everyone enjoyed.
YouTube. Check out current videos. They're doing pretty good, actually. Jay's top 10 Star Wars games is up still, and it's still doing pretty well. My top 10 championship designs is doing really well. Coming up, we have our punishment videos. We have
me doing top 10 flat Earth conspiracies,
and me doing the shittest list in the world.
Tom has to try and find his top 10 moments from the
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie. And one of them is definitely Chris Lee. One of them is definitely Christopher Lee as being one of the best moments.
Yeah, it's really fucking hard to find. My wife watched it with me the other day for the first time that she's ever watched it. She's going, "Oh, that's why you hate it." And she was saying that from the start to the finish, like every 5 minutes. Oh, that's why. Oh, that's why you hate it. Oh, that's even worse. Oh, fuck me.
Anyway,
terrible.
We're gonna call it there. Those videos will be up soon. But yeah, check out we've got a Twitter, don't we? Twitter, Patreon.
Yeah,
Facebook,
Twitter, Patreon, Facebook,
YouTube,
all before IWC. YouTube is just before it was cool.
Yeah.
Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that juicy little tidbit shit.
Yeah, I mean, we'd happily get a bit of money for this. Like, don't get me wrong, I think this is a passion project for both of us.
Yeah.
But if we get paid for that, that's just all the better.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I'm
yeah,
just lucky I
ladies-
have all the equipment. Like, from my years in music and all that stuff.
and your previous podcasts and stuff
yeah,
like that.
exactly. I've just accrued it all over time.
Which has worked out pretty well when your computer's not blowing up.
Yeah, that's only happened once and I fixed it.
Yeah.
Took a week.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. I've been Shaky J, he's been Tom on Treads, and we'll see you later.